Uses of NFTs. Some of the fields in NFTs are used digital content, gaming, domain names, physical assets, financial aspects. One of the most common uses of NFTs at present is many aspects related to digital content. A significant cause for that is poor performance of the digital industry, where most of the profits and earning potential of content creators are taken away by platforms. If we consider the artists on social media, when an artist posts content on a social network, the platform gets more profits as it shows ads to the followers of that artist. Some people get a small amount of money for doing so, while some others get exposure. But the company gets more from the businesses whose ads are being published. The exposure is not enough for an artist to deal with the financial aspects of his or her life. With the help of NFTs, a new economy is being made for the creators, where those creators will not give their content to the platforms for free so that they can make money by showing ads. Ownership is connected to the content itself. When a creator opts to sell their content, the funds are directly presented to them. If there is a resale of that content, the original creator will receive royalties automatically. This is going to happen every time it's sold. Why? Because the creator's information is embedded into the token's metadata, which is impossible to modify. There has been much enthusiasm over NFTs, especially from game developers all over the world. This is because NFTs usually provide ownership data-related items in games, boost the performance of gaming ecosystems, and come with a wide range of benefits for the players. In most games, people can buy items to use to get ahead in the game faster. If that person wishes not to play that game anymore, all the money that has been spent on the game would be in vain. However, if the items you buy in the game are NFTs, you could get back all the money spent by you by just selling those items when you do not want to play the game anymore. There might even be a possibility of gaining profits if the item has good demand by the time you sell it. In any particular game, the game developers would be considered creators of that game. Hence, when they create an item, they could earn a royalty every time there is a resale. This opens a gateway for an advantageous business model for both players and developers, as they can gain from the secondary NFT market. Cryptocurrency addresses come with a combination of various numbers and alphabets, which is hard to memorize. For example, when a person asks you for your Ethereum wallet address, you can remember something having 64 characters and looks like BJ2XBI4HALNSFL22QJ, and so on. Therefore, NFTs make it easy for you to modify your Ethereum address with something you can remember, such as your myethwallet.eth. Thus, you can easily remember your Ethereum address and easily tell it to other people in such a way. This is known as Ethereum Name Service, ENS, which is just like a domain name service used as an easy way to remember an IP address. Like domains, ENS names also have some value based on their length and relevance. With the help of ENS, you will not be needing a domain registry for dealing with the process of ownership transfer. Instead of that, you can just trade your ENS names using an NFT marketplace, which is way easier. The ENS name will allow you to receive cryptocurrency tokens and other NFTs. In addition, you will be pointed to a decentralized website, and you can also store some of the vital information such as profile info, email addresses, and Twitter info. The tokenization of physical assets has not been developed as much as the tokenization of digital assets. Therefore, many projects concentrate on creating ways to tokenize real estate, rare fashion items. We can see that NFTs are very similar to deeds. There might come a day when buying automobiles or a house can also be done using NFTs. If such things were to happen, the NFTs will have the ownership information, while the payments could be made with the help of Ether. When such a time comes and physical assets would become somehow accessible on the Ethereum network, then you can put those as collateral for obtaining a decentralized loan on Ethereum. NFTs and DeFi. Both the ecosystem and NFT and DeFi, the decentralized finance, have been collaborating in many ways, which are as follows. NFT-backed loans. There is an availability of some DeFi apps that will allow you to borrow money by providing collateral. For instance, when a person wants 1 Bitcoin, he or she would be required to provide 25 ETH or 26 ETH as collateral. A person can get the loan he needs, and if the borrower defaults on the loan, then the lender can get the collateral. But not everyone would have the requirement amount of cryptocurrency with them for acquiring the loan that they need. To help such people, there have been some upcoming projects which are starting to find out the methods for using the NFTs as collateral. For example, imagine you bought a rare NFT a few days ago, which is worth, let us say, $63,000 based on today's prices. By keeping this as collateral, you can secure a loan of 26 ETH. If you cannot pay back the ETH, your rare NFT will be sent over to the lender as collateral. This could work for anything that can be tokenized as an NFT. This will not be a complex process, as both the DeFi and NFT worlds use Ethereum's blockchain technology. Fractional ownership. Creators are also able to create shares for their particular NFT. This allows investors and fans to own an NFT by just owning a part of it and without having to buy the entire asset. With the help of this, more and more opportunities are becoming accessible to the minters and collectors of NFTs. Such types of fractions of NFTs would be traded with the help of decentralized exchanges, DEXs, such as Uniswap, and not just the NFT marketplace. By doing so, there would be a significant increase in the number of buyers and sellers. The overall price of an NFT can be determined with the help of its fractions. You will be having a window for owning and gaining profits from the items that mean a lot to you. It would be excruciating when you wanted to have something, but you cannot pay that much. To make it simple for you, this would be something like owning a piece of a Picasso. You would have a stake in the Picasso NFT, which means you also become a part owner and have control in involving things like revenue sharing. It's possible that soon enough, owning a part of an NFT will allow you to enter into a decentralized autonomous organization, a DAO, to manage that particular asset. DAOs are the institutions powered by Ethereum and allow anonymous people, such as worldwide shareholders of an asset, to harmonize securely without trusting the remaining people. Even a single cent cannot be spent without the approval from all the members present in the group. As we've said before, the space of NFTs, DAOs, fractional tokens are all under development at different paces. Nevertheless, all their infrastructure can exist and work together as they all belong in the same network, for instance, Ethereum. NFTs and Ethereum. Ethereum makes it possible for NFTs to run smoothly, depending on many aspects. Some have been given below. The transaction history and the metadata related to tokens are public, and anyone can verify these. Therefore, it is straightforward to prove ownership and the help of NFTs. After successfully confirming a transaction, it is impossible to manipulate the existing data, which means the ownership status cannot be stolen. Trades in NFTs could be made directly, which means there will not be a necessity for platforms that usually take a part of the money as compensation. The products available on Ethereum implement the same type of technology. Therefore, even if you have an NFT in one platform, you can sell it on another platform as long as it is Ethereum. Creators can simultaneously list multiple properties, and all those products should still have the up-to-date information available. Ethereum is available 24/7, which means you can sell your NFTs whenever you want. Minting an NFT. To mint an NFT, the following things are done. The NFT should be confirmed as an asset existing on the blockchain. The account balance of the creator should be updated so that the asset will be included. By doing so, it can be made sure that the person owns the asset. The transactions mentioned above are to be confirmed and added to a block on the blockchain while making it permanent, immortalized. It should be confirmed by people in the network to be valid so that it would be accepted that the NFT is on the network and it belongs to the creator. As it exists in the public ledger, anyone can be able to check it. Finally, this would result in an increased earning potential of the creators. The tasks that have been mentioned above are usually done with the help of miners. Miners let other people on the network know about these NFTs and the person who owns them. The process needs to be difficult or else any person can claim the NFT with the help of fraudulent ownership. To make miners work honestly, there are many incentives. While the blocks of data are being added to the blockchain of Ethereum, they need to be created consistently. So for every 12 seconds, there will be a block of data added to the blockchain. However, nobody could alter this data, which is being added to the blockchain. For example, when a hacker tries to modify the data of an NFT in a block, let us say block number 200, when he tries to do that, the data on the other blocks will change. And when it happens, any miner on the Ethereum blockchain might identify it and stop it from happening. Both NFT transactions and everyday transactions are added to the blockchain alike, which means a block with no NFT transactions would be the same as the block with NFT transactions. This means that the computing power needed is also the same. Therefore, the environmental damage is done because of the blockchain or Ethereum rather than being done because of NFTs. Is it only on Ethereum? So far, almost all NFTs are present on the network of Ethereum. Yet other blockchains can create something like NFTs using their own blockchain technology. CryptoKitties, which allows people to buy virtual kittens, want to switch to Flow blockchain from the Ethereum blockchain, which uses POS consensus and supports NFTs. Tezos is another blockchain system that also runs on the POS consensus and allows the sale of NFT artwork.